Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the January 19th, 2023 meeting of the Falmouth Zoning Board of Appeals. Just ask if everyone would take a moment to silence their cell phones. I'll start off by introducing the board. Starting at my far right to the audience's left is Frank Duffy, who is a full voting member. To his left is Mark Finneran, who's also a full voting member. My name is James Morse. I'm currently serving as the board's chair. To my left is Suzanne Murphy, who is our clerk and a full voting member. And at the end is Mr. Scott Peterson, who is the vice chairman. Also joining us this evening is Noreen Stockman, zoning administrator, and Ashley DeMello, who is our recording secretary. The Zoning Board of Appeals is charged with applying the state zoning statutes as well as the town zoning bylaws and reviewing and voting on decisions. All decisions are made through the public hearing process. Our goal is to hear testimony from applicants and the public to allow for a full and fair discussion of the project prior to rendering any decision. To begin each hearing, the clerk will read the public announcement for the hearing and read pertinent information from the file. The applicant or the applicant's representatives will then have 15 minutes to make a presentation. Time may be extended by vote of the board. The board will then question the applicant. Next, the public will be invited to comment. Public comment should be directed at the project. Please refrain from making any derogatory statements and conclude an opinion in favor or opposition or to ask a specific question about the project. Comments should be limited to 2 minutes. The chair will limit discussion in the interest of time if comments become repetitive. All members of the public wishing to speak should wait to be recognized by the chair, should come to the podium. Please state your name and address for the record. Please speak into the microphone. It does not amplify your voice, but is provided for the viewers of FCTV. The board may continue a hearing to a future date and time. Otherwise, when the board is satisfied that it has sufficient information, the hearing will be closed. After the hearing is closed, no more testimony will be taken. The board will then discuss the proposal amongst themselves, make a motion to approve or deny the application. The motion will be followed by a summary of key findings and conditions. The affirmative vote of 4 members, a supermajority, is required for the approval of special permits, variances, or appeals. A split vote, 3-2, is a failure to carry and would result in a denial. Any zoning board of appeals decision may be appealed as provided for in Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 17. First up this evening on tonight's agenda is public comment. This public comment is for any matter that is not currently on the agenda before the Zoning Board of Appeals. Does any member of the public wish to make a public comment this evening? Seeing none. First up, we have continuation of hearings. First on the agenda is hearing 6522, Nika Development LLC, 259-263 Old Main Road, North Falmouth, requesting a special permit to raise the existing structures and construct 2 duplex buildings and 1 single-family dwelling on a combined parcel. Good evening, Mr. Clower.
Mr. Chair, members of the board. It occurs to me that we only have a 4-member quorum at the moment for this voting, for this matter. We've been at this for quite some time through multiple boards, and my preference would be to have a 5-member board available. If the board would see fit, we would like to request a continuance.
And I was going to suggest one. The planning board just issued their decision. I was in several different courthouses today. I have not had a chance to review it, so I think a continuance would be appropriate. The board have questions?
As well as the input from town council I only received this afternoon, and I certainly didn't have a chance to read it 9 times upside down and sideways. So I think it would be preferable.
Frank, your feeling?
Agree.
Continue. Yeah. Do you have a date in mind, or?
I don't as of yet. I don't know if the board's had a chance to review. I didn't know town council had issued an opinion. I don't know if the chances had an opportunity, if the board has had an opportunity to review it yet, but I'd certainly welcome a chance to read it if the board would see fit to release it. But if you haven't had a chance to review it and need to do so first, I would certainly understand.
I'm not inclined to ask the board to release the information at this time, but I think reviewing the decision of the planning board is certainly, I think, very important. So, do we have a request for extension for Nika here?
What are we looking at for dates, Ms. Stockman?
We picked February 2nd.
Does that work for you? 2 weeks?
Yes, that should be just fine.
So while Mr. Clower is executing paperwork, is there a motion to continue this hearing to February 2nd?
Motion to continue February 2nd.
That's Mark, seconded Frank. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, let's get the vote. Continue to February 2nd.
You.
The next one's a continuation, so we'll throw that in the file. Next up is hearing number 7522, Blue Moon Seagrill Inc., 159 Main Street, Falmouth, requesting a special permit to allow parking reduction for the proposed restaurant. We have a request for a continuation in the file on this matter. I was contacted, for the record, was contacted by the zoning administrator. The request had been made through the applicant's attorney. A number of the abutters are also represented by an attorney, requested if we could, we're assenting to the request so that their attorney did not have to be here unnecessarily. Just for the board, that I indicated that I was in favor of a continuance, given the posture of both the attorneys, and if most people would then not have to make a trip unnecessarily here to the board. I'll make a motion to continue. Do we have a date in mind, Noreen?
February 2nd. Please.
I'll make a motion to continue this then to February 2nd, 2023. Is there a second?
Second.
Give that to Suzanne. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's a vote. Continued February 2nd. Next up is hearing 09322, Spear, trustee of 42 Lake Lehman Road, Falmouth, requesting a special permit to construct a single-family dwelling exceeding 20% lot coverage by structures. This is all the regular voting members on this hearing. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my name is Joe Valley. Miss Spear has had recent surgery, so she's asked me to stand in for her. See if I can get ourselves up here.
While Mr. Valley's getting set up, just to make sure this was opened, correct? Thank you.
Here we go. Just a very brief history. I know that Miss Spear talked about it last time, but her family's owned the property since 1954. She's been a resident of Falmouth for 43 years, 35 of those years as a nurse at Falmouth Hospital. She originally contemplated building a two-story home of 2,200 square feet. A two-story, three-bedroom home of 2,200 square feet. She started construction of that home, and due to both COVID and cost increase issues, she was not able to afford to continue. 2 years went by, and she came to our company seeking some advice as to how to proceed. Because she can't climb stairs, we suggested that we revise the plan to a single-level home of 2,172 square feet. And we have designed that home to accommodate 2 bedrooms. And the plan that we have up shows the 20 by 11, 16 by 2 extension to the rear to accommodate the second bedroom, and a 24 by 610 porch to which we've added stairs. Lot coverage by structures is 20.7 in the old plan, and the current plan is 27.7% lot coverage. Hopefully we've staked the lot and everybody's had a chance to see it fully staked. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the board? We'll start with you, Frank. That's what I had on the plans.
What is the total lot coverage, including all other impervious surface features and everything else?
My understanding is it's 27.7.
No, you said that's the structure.
Well, the plan shows by structures and parking, 2618 or 27.7%. Am I looking at that correctly?
Yet total existing lot coverage is 20.7. And what is the structure come out? So covered by structures,
Covered by structures and parking, according to the engineered plan, is 2,618.6 square feet or 27.
I see that. All right, thank you.
Mark?
That was my question.
Suzanne?
No question?
I have no questions. How would the board like to proceed? Oh, public comment. I'm going on vacation. My mind is
You already left.
already left. Right over the public here to comment on this project. Seeing none. How would the board now like to proceed?
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Discussion on the project.
I have no problem. I think it's gonna be great when this gets done. Good project.
I agree.
Perfect project.
I'm
Wouldn't
fine.
want their mother living there.
I'm fine with it.
All right. Is that going to be someone like to make a motion to approve with conditions?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Findings.
Findings, it's in an RC zone, overlay is Little Pond. The lot size is 9,449. Lot coverage by structure that I have existing is 20.7, just structure. With, completed with everything, 27.7. It's a Seward lot, and this is a 240-69E. I do not have the height again.
It wasn't an issue, it's going to be single floor, one story. Let's see, two-bedroom. Testimonies, modification was made to accommodate single-floor living. The applicant is having difficulty with stairs. Any other findings? Conditions? Per plans?
Plans.
Normal work hours. Can incorporate any of the referrals. Town boards. I know numbering of residents was one of the comments. Paving will require driveway permit. It can just be conditioned. Sewer line has to be shown on the plans for the water department comment. Yep. Anything else?
I had no letters at all, no, everything's good.
Anything else, Noreen? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's a vote. Thank you, Mr. Valley.
Thank you.
Next up, we have hearing 09722 Brenner, 3 Ruth Terrace, Wacoit, requesting a special permit to construct a detached accessory apartment. And voting on this is all the regular voting members. To be clear, this was open, correct?
We did a decision on part of it.
Right.
Hey,
I remember.
hi,
Good
you
evening,
got
sir.
Tim O'Reilly, Backyard ADUs on behalf of the residents at 3 Roof Terrace. So we were able to get the surveyor out there. Hopefully, everything is staked properly, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Do you have any additional presentation you'd like to make at this time, or?
Nope, I mean, I presented everything last time. I'd be happy to go over it again if the board would wish.
Board have questions? We'll start at
I
this
have
end.
one, is there gonna be a new water service to the,
Yep, yeah, per the water department. That'll be there. Yep.
Total was 3 bedrooms, 2 in the house and 1 for the accessory development. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
And we had to convert one of the bedrooms to an office.
Yep.
In the main house. And the fence was in a public way, I believe.
Yes, yeah, that was noted. So I'm not sure what precedent has been set here. Obviously, it's a pre-existing fence, not part of our project.
Need a license.
So normally, what we can do is, if you haven't already applied or the selectmen have approved, usually we will condition that you must apply to get a license from the select board as part of the special permit.
Okay.
They usually, I can't speak for the select board, usually grant those when requested, but
Okay.
any questions on this side?
I just have one question. Is this attached to the deed? I mean, if the house is sold, is there still a business?
Special permits usually lapse with the applicant if it's transferred, they have to reapply.
Well, a special permit lapses if it's for a function.
Correct.
But it runs with the land for the building.
Excuse me, yes.
Just curious.
Thank you, Frank. Anything else?
No.
Any public comment on this project? How would the board like to proceed?
Motion closed?
Motion to close, second by Suzanne. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's a vote. Any discussion?
Good project. I think it's good use of the property.
I agree. Would the board like to proceed? Someone? All right. Thank you, Suzanne. Is there a second? Second by Mark.
I was waiting on
Findings.
Finding. It's in an RB district, and the overlay is in McQuoit Bay. It's not in a flood zone. No previous decisions. The lot size is 24,332. Lot coverage by structure now is 6.4 and with a 16.29%, and it will go up to 8.8 with an 18.6%. It's going to need new water service to the accessory. It's a 242.3I and 241.62.
Lot is adequate.
Yep. Public road. That's all I have.
There is encroachment. It's going to require a license by the select board of the fence. Comments from the planning board. Incorporate.
Select,
All right.
I mean, engineering.
Conditions. Remain 3 bedrooms. Incorporate the accessory bedroom, the requirements for the accessory bylaw.
Permit,
Driveway permit.
new water service. Omit 1 bathroom. Bedroom.
Cased entrance to make sure that it remains 3 bedrooms, in accordance with the health department's comments.
Food service permit.
Food service permit. Anything else? I think that's everything I have.
Yeah, working hours, you got that, yeah.
Standard work hours. Numbering of the apartment pursuant to engineering.
Yeah, it said engineering report, yep.
Anything else?
No.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last for our continuations this evening is 9922 McCarthy, 15 Ipswich Drive, East Falmouth, requesting a special permit to raise the existing dwelling, rebuild exceeding 20% lot coverage by structures. And this, again, is all the regular voting members.
How you doing? I'm Pete Langen, right here in Falmouth. I'm representing Andrea and John McCarthy. And if you remember, this was for a house they're going to be constructing for them to move into full-time. I believe we went through all the items last time around, but there was question regarding the lot line staking. And I went out, verified everything is there, so hopefully you were able to go out and take a look. Just remind, we did go through all the other boards' comments, and we're fully going to comply. There'll be new water service, everything, and it is a fully conforming lot, so there's no setback issues, anything. It's just a matter of the lot coverage.
Board questions? We'll start with you, Scott.
Just looking back at my notes, so 4 bedrooms, correct?
Yes.
Again, same situation as the last applicant, the office, we're removing a door and replacing with a.
Yep, yeah, and that plan was revised and submitted.
No, looks good, thank you.
Jim? All set. Mark? All good. Frank?
I went out there twice, and I appreciate the work you did last. I'm okay with this project.
2 questions. 2 sheds are being removed.
Yes,
New septic going in?
yes,
Is it an IA or just a standard Title V?
standard Title V.
Risky with what's going on right
Yeah,
now.
well, yeah, who knows, huh?
Move fast.
It's a moving target, exactly.
I have no other questions. Public comment? Seeing none. How would the board like to proceed?
Motion closed.
Motion to close, second by Suzanne. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion on the project?
Good project.
I agree.
No,
Thank you for staking. How would the board like to proceed?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Frank, second by Mark. Findings.
Findings, it's in an RC district in the McQuoit Bay overlay. Flood zone is AE 12 and AE 13. It did have a previous decision in 2012. Lot size is 10,375. It's on a private road. They're going from 13.7 with 18.5% to 24.2 to 33.9%. Height is 38.8. I think that's no letters. It's a 246-9E. I think that's all I have.
I believe there was a Concom NDA in the file.
A negative
Yep, negative
order was
determination.
issued.
Yep.
What did you have for the height?
I had 38.85.
So
Is that wrong?
35
Did I write it
max.
down?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
35? Sorry,
Yeah.
Scrivener's error.
sorry. It is bad writing, too. 35?
Yeah, 35.8, I believe.
Sorry.
For the height?
Yeah. It was
From the
just one
basement.
sector, the lowest
The
walkout point.
basement walkout
okay.
is 35.
All right.
Sorry, I messed that up, sorry.
It's all right, you were gonna approve it.
I think it's 28.94 for the front.
You get testimony that the two existing sheds are going to be removed. New septic going in, Title V. Conditions? Per plans,
The plans, bedroom removal,
cased,
shed
yep,
removal.
cased opening for the office. Can't exceed additional lot coverage without coming back if it's going to exceed 25. Incorporate water comments to be 4-bedroom.
Get the sheds on there.
Yep, got that.
Okay.
I think that's-
I think that's it, yeah.
Combining standard hours of work, incorporate the referrals, the additional conditions on the site. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Very good, thank you.
That concludes our continuations this evening. Next up, we have new hearings. First up, we have 102-22 Martin, trustees of 88 Lucerne Ave, Falmouth, requesting a special permit to remove the existing deck and construct an addition to the non-conforming single-family dwelling.
How you doing?
Good evening, sir.
Good.
Before we get too far into your hearing, sir, this property was not staked during my visit. I don't know if that has changed or not.
No, it hasn't, yeah.
So the work is not going to, presume the board is not going to be able to determine what the scope of the work or so on. This is normally going to be a continuation, sir. Is that the general direction I believe the board wants to move this? Okay.
Is there anything else that I should be aware of before we get that staked?
Everything that's on the list, the application.
Okay.
How much time, sir, do you think you're going to need to, we don't
We'll
want
be
to,
ready for the next meeting.
the second available,
Second, yeah.
Noreen, or?
We're then into February 16, just
Okay.
for,
February 16th?
yeah.
Okay,
so-
all right. We'll be ready for that.
Coffee will be ready by then?
Yep.
Sorry to waste your time this evening, but it's, we need the information.
I'll make a motion to continue
Okay,
until February 16th.
is there a second? Second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We'll see you on the 16th, sir. Thank you. Next up is 103-22, Boris C. Messinger, 109 Gansett Road, Woods Hole, requesting a special permit to remove and rebuild the existing pool, add a hot tub, construct sheds, and add a bathroom addition to the existing detached garage.
There we go. There goes the pen. All right, we have Alexis Borisi and Leah Messinger. Messinger, I'm sorry. 531 Concord Ave,
Sorry.
Belmont, Mass. Applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Sections 240-10.2A, formerly 243C, of the Code of Falmouth to remove and rebuild the existing pool, add a hot tub, construct sheds, add a bathroom addition into the existing detached garage. Property is at 109 Gansett.
Referrals?
Referrals, let's get to them, huh? Okay, here we go. We have no comment from planning, No comment from water. No comment from fire. And we do have engineering. The application was reviewed for impacts to the public rights-of-way and public utilities. Gansett Road is a private road. Any connections or alternations to public utilities will require permission from the appropriate town departments. This project must not direct any stormwater runoff to public property or butters or public rights-of-ways. Where the site slopes down to the street and no driveway permit is required, we recommend that erosion and sediment controls are included for this project to sediments out of the street. We recommend that the plans be revised to include a demarcated limit of work and includes proposed erosion and sediment controls, or that a plan showing this information be part of the building permit application. And we recommend the following condition to be included in any approval. Construction of this project shall follow the town's soil erosion and sediment control standard conditions. Document can be found on the Engineering Division's page of the town website. References to the Department of Public Works Engineering Division, and shall be replaced with the Zoning Board of Appeals, who will be the permitting authority. That was engineering. Health, a planned septic installation permit will be needed for any tie-in to the septic system from the proposed bathroom. Not sure what the solid black rectangle is next to the second leach pit. And no comment, and that's it for comments.
Do we have any correspondence for or against the project?
There's no letters in here, no letters.
For the applicant, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Kevin Clower. I am here tonight representing Alexi Borisi and Leah Meisinger, the owners of 109 Gansett. Ms. Meisinger is here with us this evening. They are seeking to alter the existing non-conforming structures by replacing the existing pool and shed located in the front yard. This property, 109 Gansett, is located at the northern end of Woods Hole. It's just across Quistit Harbor from the Knob. I think it is probably, in my opinion, the prettiest part of town. This particular lot is 2.64 acres. It is in residential AA zoning district, and this property is not located in a flood zone. Presently, there's a 5-bedroom, single-family dwelling, as well as a guest house and garage, and a pool and a shed. The total lot coverage is 6,379 square feet, which is only 5.6% of the lot coverage by structures. It is non-conforming only in the aspect of having an accessory structure, which is the pool and a shed, in the front yard closer than 50 feet. Otherwise, it conforms with all lot coverage and setback requirements. Even then, our front yard definition is very convoluted, and it's only in the front yard due to the particular contours of the street. The way our front yard definition is defined, it's effectively anything north of here, so from this edge here running north, and anything east of here running to this particular point. So it has to do with the front, the closest points of the house adjacent to the street. It ends up making a lot of front yard in a lot of properties. They're proposing to replace the existing pool and shed. The proposal will have no real effect on the existing nonconformity. The existing shed is set back 19.9 feet. This will be marginally further away. It's at 20.5 feet. A little further south, though. It does require a special permit under both, under 240-10.2A, formerly 243C. Under this provision in the bylaw, pre-existing non-conforming structures may be changed by special permit, provided the board finds that what's proposed is not substantially more detrimental than what exists. In order to determine this, you're asked to consider the standards of 240-12.1E, formerly 216, and whether or not the alteration creates any new dimensional nonconformities, impairs views and vistas, and reasonably conforms to the neighborhood. In this case, as we've noted, there's no new nonconformity created. The existing nonconformity is marginally improved. It's essentially unaffected. There's no change to the views and vistas. This is a heavily wooded area on a private way. It's really not visible from the street. And it does conform to the neighborhood. Many of the surrounding properties do contain outbuildings located all over the lot. You have a lot of outbuildings that are located in front yards in this particular area. The resulting lot coverage by structures will be 6.1%, which is far below the 20% allowed by right. This project as proposed represents an improvement for the owners and is by no means substantially more detrimental than what exists. The existing nonconformity is slightly improved. There are no adverse effects, and certainly none that would overbalance the benefits to the owners. Further, I believe this meets all the requirements of 240-10.2A and 240-12.1E. I'd be happy to address any questions the board might have. Otherwise, I would ask that you grant the special permit.
Questions to the board? Start with you, Frank.
No, I don't have any questions. I went down, I took a look. I agree with the comment from Mr. Clower that the property's on a private road. It's plenty of trees, there's plenty of privacy. Nobody's gonna see this. If it makes the homeowners happy, I'm in favor of it.
No, nothing except
Black box
the black box question.
You know, I was looking at the plan, and I was trying to figure out what that black box is. I would defer to the engineer, and they'll have to get an approval from the health department to tie into the septic. So that's something they'll have to address, but I didn't see a black box on the plan.
I see a couple of them, but I don't know what they were referring to. Page L2. But, just curious.
Suzanne?
I have no questions.
I think that's the fourth time I've heard you say that this house is in the nicest part of Falmouth. That
Well, we get a lot of nice
Doing a
parts of
great
Falmouth.
job for the applicant.
We get a lot of nice parts of Falmouth. I mean, it's hard to argue with Quissett being, not up there.
It is up there.
But, when the next application's for the Heights, and I love the Heights too.
Exactly. I'm glad. Good application, good utilization of the property. I have no comments.
What do attorneys do if not hyperbole?
Yeah. Point taken.
Rent station's being removed?
There is, the rent station's proposed as part of the addition. You see here, there's a proposed addition on slab, and part of that is a rent station.
I just noticed that on the plans, the existing one was coming out. I'm in absolute agreement this is an appropriate project, but I did have a question. The outbuilding in the upper left top corner there, is that
Yes.
utilities or is?
It's
Couldn't quite figure out what it was when I was on the site.
It's
visit
labeled
there.
as a shed.
It's a generator.
Generator. It's a house to generator.
Thank you. Good thing to have. Public comment or questions? Seeing none. How would the board like to proceed? Motion to close by Scott, second by Suzanne. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion on the project?
None needed for me.
Mark? Frank?
No.
How would the board like to proceed?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the conditions, second by Suzanne. Findings, findings.
Findings, we're in a RAA zoning district, Quissett Harbor overlay, no flood zone, no previous decisions. Lot size is 2.64 acres. Lot coverage by structure now is 5.6 with a 10.9%. It's going to be 6.1 with a 12.3. They will need a septic plan according to the report from the Board of Health. Do we need the pool size?
Yeah, it's,
The pool size now is 20 by 40 and expanded to 23 by 52. There'll be an 8 by 8 hot tub. It's a 240 10.2A, formerly 243C. I think that's all I have.
only nonconformity is the fact that there's the accessory structure in the front yard. Everything else would be by right, including lot coverage. I think you cited 5.6 going to 6.1. Just put a finding, no opposition at the hearing, no opposition in the file. Very much suitable in keeping with other structures and houses in the neighborhood. Any other findings?
Nope.
Comments, or excuse me, conditions
Per plan,
for plan?
hours,
Standard hours of work.
Septic plan.
Except the engineering comments, erosion and settlement controls, health comments about the septic tie-in,
Black box clarification.
black box clarification.
Very
Lockbox.
Any other conditions? I know the hearing's closed, but how are they gonna get the excavator into the backyard, Mr. Clower? That seems a little tight.
I don't know.
Not my problem, but just.
I don't get paid to worry about that.
He's gonna be coming out.
Yeah, shrubs are going.
I think we got it. Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything else?
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's a vote.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our last hearing this evening under new hearing is 10422 Gordon, 3 Amherst Avenue, Falmouth, requesting a special permit to remove the existing deck, construct a small addition to the first floor, construct dormers to the front facade, and expand the rear portion of the second floor.
Let's see what we have here. We have Timothy J. Gordon, 3 Amherst Ave, applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to 240-10-2A and 240-11.3A4 in parentheses, formerly 23C and 240-69E and of the Code of Falmouth, to remove the existing deck, construct a small addition to the first floor, construct dormers to the front, and expand the rear portion of the second floor. The subject property is 3 Amherst Ave. And let's see what we have. We have no comment from water. Planning, no comment. Fire department, no comment. And we have engineering. This application was reviewed for impacts to public rights-of-way and public utilities. Amherst Ave is a public right-of-way in this area. No alterations are proposed in the right-of-way. Any changes within the right-of-way would require filing a permit with the engineering division. Any connections or alterations to public utilities will require permission from the appropriate town department. This project must not direct any stormwater runoff to public property, abutters, or public right-of-way. We recommend that the board add a condition that requires the addition of dry wells, rain garden, or other stormwater infiltration measures for the reconfigured roof. While this is a small lot and the proposed work is close to the abutting properties, the proposed work area location and lot grades, it appears that erosion and sedimentation would not be an issue with normal construction practices. However, the contractor should be held responsible for implementing erosion and sediment controls if conditions change. We recommend at a minimum, a construction fence shall be installed along the northern property line, shared with 121 Grand Ave. We recommend the following condition be included in any approval. Construction activity shall not cause erosion to or sedimentation to the abutting properties and the town right-of-way. That was engineering. Health, this is a Seward property. Health has no problem. Concom, this property is within flood zone AE, so the proposed project will require the filing of an RDA with the Conservation Department. There is no permit on file at this time. And I think that's it. And that's it. I see 2 letters of support.
For the applicant.
That's what I
Good
have.
evening.
Good evening again, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Kevin Clower. I am here tonight representing Tim Gordon, the owner of 3 Amherst Avenue. Mr. Gordon is here with us this evening. He is seeking permission to alter the existing non-conforming dwelling on the property. 3 Amherst Avenue is located at the eastern portion of the Heights. It's a very dense residential neighborhood, and for my money, Mr. Peterson, it might be the prettiest part of town. This particular lot is 3,744 square feet. It's located in the residential C zoning district, and it is an AE 13 flood zone. Presently, there's a 3-bedroom, single-family dwelling with a detached garage and porch. Total footprint is just over 1,500 square feet. It's 1,531 square feet. As it exists, there are a number of nonconformities. The front yard setback is 18.1, where 25 is required. The side yard setback to the south is 9.8, where 10 is required. The garage is non-conforming to rear yard setback, being 0.2, where 10 is required, and the side yard setback is 0.7, where 10 is required. The lot coverage by structure as exists is 40.9, where 20 is allowed by right, and up to 25 by special permit. And the lot coverage by structures, paving, and parking is presently 54.6%, where 40 is allowed by right. The existing ridge height of the house is 20 feet 6 inches. The applicant is proposing some changes to the structure. These include an expansion of the existing dormers on the front of the dwelling in order to improve the existing bedrooms, a small expansion of the second floor to the rear over an existing roof space, to remove a significant portion of the existing deck to reduce size. And the proposal does not affect any of the existing non-conforming setbacks. There's no change to the setbacks at all in any direction. However, there is a reduction of lot coverage by structure from 40.9% down to 30.8%, so that's a fairly significant reduction. As well as lot coverage by structure, paving, and parking, there's a minor reduction. It goes from 54.6 down to 53.69. There's no change to the bedroom count. It remains at 3, and this is on the Little Pond Sewer District system, rather. The proposed ridge will remain at 20 feet 6 inches. The proposal does include a cupola, which is specifically not included in the definition of ridge height, but for our purposes, with the cupola, the ridge, the total height would be 24 feet 3 inches. This proposal does require a special permit under 240-10.2A and 240-11.3A4, formerly 243C and 240-69E respectively. Under 240-10.2A, pre-existing nonconformers may be changed by, nonconforming structures may be changed by special permit, provided this board finds that what's being proposed is not substantially more detrimental than what exists. And you're asked to consider the standards of 240-12.1 and whether or not the alteration creates any new dimensional nonconformities, impairs views and vistas, and reasonably conforms to the neighborhood. Here, there's no new nonconformity created. The nonconforming setbacks are unaffected. There is a significant improvement to the lot coverage by structure, as I mentioned. It's a reduction by almost 400 square feet, so that's 10% reduction. And to avoid repetition, I think we should look at the requirements of 240-11.3A4 because some of them overlap there. Under that section, lot coverage by structure in a residential C zoning district may be allowed in excess of 20%. The board's asked to consider the size and height of the structure in relation to the neighborhood, the effects of shadow, the impacts on views and vistas from public ways, and the effect of nitrogen and coastal embayments. We did submit a lot comparison worksheet to look at the size and height of the structures in the area. We looked at 44 nearby properties. This proposal is well below the average footprint and gross floor area. Of those 44, 30 had larger footprints, 26 had larger gross floor areas, and I think most strikingly, this is the smallest on Amherst Avenue by a significant margin. The dwelling as designed is very much in character with the neighborhood. The impact of shadowing and views and vistas from the public way should be very limited. The ridge remains the same. This is a very dense neighborhood at baseline, and there's no effect of nitrogen on embayments. The bedroom count remains the same. In relation to the referral from conservation, an RDA application was submitted. That's going to be heard on February 1st. If the board sees fit to approve this, I would hope that that could be part of the conditioning. This project represents an improvement over the existing conditions for the applicants. There's a significant improvement to the layout and functionality of the house. There's no change to the setbacks. There's a substantial reduction to an existing nonconformity and a minor improvement to the lot coverage by structures, paving, and siding. There's no new dimensional nonconformities and no adverse effects. Certainly none that would overbalance the benefits I've described. There's nothing about this proposal that is substantially more detrimental than what exists. I believe it meets the standards of 240-10.2A, 240-11.3A4, and 240-12.1E. I'd be happy to address any questions that the board has. Otherwise, I would ask that you grant the special permit.
Questions from the board? Start with you, Frank.
No, I don't have any.
Mark?
None whatsoever.
Suzanne? None. Scott?
Just to confirm, 3 bedrooms, ridge height you said was 20 feet 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
No further questions.
Got nothing.
I thought I was going to be crawling home at like 11 o'clock tonight, and so far, I don't want to screw anything up yet, but I...
Stop right now. Public comment. Seeing none. How would the board like to proceed?
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Suzanne. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Scott. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is a vote. How would the board like to proceed on this project?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. Conditions. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mark. Findings.
Findings, it's in an RC district. The overlay is Little Pond. Flood zone is AE 13. No previous decisions. Lot size is 3744. It's on a private road.
No,
No?
No,
that's a town road.
3 Amherst, I thought I just read it was, oh, you know what, I read it for the last case, sorry. Glad you're still awake and not in Belize. Thank you.
Moving too fast.
I am going too fast. Lot coverage by structure now is 40.9, proposed 30.96. Let's see what else I have. Height, 20, I had 20.8, and you just said 20.6, so once again, I'm probably wrong. Without cupola, and then 24.3 with cupola, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Seward, RDA, you said has already been applied for. 2 letters in support. 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 It's a 240-10-2A and a 240-11.3A, 4 in parentheses, formerly 243C and 246-9E. What did I leave out?
You can,
Total cover with structure, it was 54.4, it's now going to be 53.53.
53.69.
What?
0.69.
0.69? Jeez. My numbers are off.
I mumble and I talk fast. It's me.
No, I wrote it down by looking at the plan, which is even worse.
Noreen, if you could just, in the decision, reference the nonconformities. There's no new nonconformities created, and there's a substantial reduction in lot coverage.
Yeah.
Make a finding, it's keeping with the neighborhood. It is dense,
2 letters in support, too.
2 letters in support, but what's proposed is also keeping in terms of the overall visual character of the neighborhood and what other people have had. Any other findings?
That-
Comparison worksheet.
Yeah, the comparison sheet was.
worksheet.
Right.
Findings on this side? Conditions?
Approval, the RDA?
Why don't we, yeah, it will be, incorporate anything that Concom needs or requests, and if not, we'll condition on that.
Yep.
Per plans, usual work hours, comments, erosion, sediment control, and such. Given that it's tight in that neighborhood, if they can't keep materials and vehicles on site, have them work with the Falmouth police, just not to obstruct roadway or come up with an appropriate traffic mitigation plan. Let's see.
No other structures?
Yeah, no other,
We'll be able to fit
no
it.
other rooms. There's no room. Anything on this side? Conditions?
Bedrooms staying the same.
Right. Yep, I mean, it's 4 on the sewer as a matter of right, but if they, so, I'm not concerned about that.
Got per plan in
Yeah,
there.
purple, exactly. Anything else? Noreen? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's a vote.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Spoke a little soon. We do have one other on the new hearings. Is going to be a request for a continuance. 10522 Bowen, trustees of 102 Grand Ave, Falmouth, requesting a modification of existing permits, number 110-15 and 37-21, to remove condition 2 of the special permit in hearing 110-15 and increase the total lot coverage. Properties under an enforcement order, letter dated September 14, 2022, and I have an indication there is a request for continuance.
Yes, there is. I had spoken to Ms. Stockman. She had suggested a few dates. I was going to request March 2nd, but I'm actually going to be traveling that weekend. Could we do the March 23rd hearing date?
Is that a good date?
Yep, it's a form for him to sign.
Is there a motion to continue
Make
to
a
March?
motion to continue to March 23rd.
Is there a second?
Second.
Give that to Scott. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is a continuation.
Thank you all very much. Congratulations.
Thanks. Accepted.
On to open meeting. First item on the open meeting agenda is to vote the minutes of December 8th and January 5th, 2023.
And we're tabling the 5th.
Tabling January 5th. Has
8th has been distributed.
everyone had opportunity to review the minutes of December the 8th?
I did, yes.
Any discussion or corrections, clarifications needed on the minutes of December the 8th? None. Seeing none. Motion to approve. Motion approved by Scott. Is there a second? Second by Suzanne. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That is a vote. Next on the open meeting agenda, review draft decision with vote anticipated, hearing 59-22 Oh Boy, 1 Lookout Avenue, Falmouth. Good evening, Mr. Moynihan. We have, Mr. Patamus is not here this evening, so we have 4 members. I guess I will just ask, is there anyone, first of all, has everyone had opportunity, the 4 members who are voting on it, to review the decision? Is there any additional comments or changes that we need to incorporate?
So the copy that you have in front of you is the copy that was distributed to you as well. There are 3 lines in bold. The lines are all exactly worded the same. It's just a clarification for the height.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
morning,
since
good
I wasn't given notice that Mr. Jerry wasn't going to be here. So, Mr. Duffy, I don't know if he's reviewed the tapes of all the hearings or if he's eligible to vote.
No, I did not. This started before I came on the board. I have not watched the tapes and actually haven't been following this case very closely like I should if I'm going to vote, so I'm not going to.
So I know that of the 4 members, there had been some opposition or reservation. I will ask for the record if you've had opportunity to review the decision and what your feeling on the decision is at this point.
Yes, mine was predicated on a misunderstanding. The case I referenced was an administrative approval. With an administrative approval, you cannot ask for, hello, help me, a habitable space.
Habitable space.
And that was where the confusion was. Other than that, I'm completely happy with this. And it appears that all the neighbors are as well, so you don't have to worry about a vote tonight. You have my positive.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, because I know everybody would.
With that now on the record, are you comfortable going forward with 4 people?
Well, I'll take it the other members, since there was a positive motion, are in favor of voting a positive motion based on the
Certainly, why
contents
don't we
of the
just have a little
motion.
discussion?
And just also for the board's reference and for the public at home, the draft was distributed to the attorneys representing the other parties, and they have consented to the draft as provided to you.
This morning you're here, so is that accurate for your point of view?
Yes.
The applicants? Okay.
Yes. I know Mr. Kirk went back and forth with Noreen quite a bit, but I'm fine with the draft. I think the intention is clear of what we have to do there, so I think the minutia, we'll get through the minutia. So, okay, well, I think if the 4 members that are here are positive for the case, generally speaking, then I think we'd be comfortable proceeding without continuing or asking to table it for the 5th voter, if that's okay.
Certainly. Are you prepared to vote in a positive manner?
Yes, I think,
Okay.
I appreciate everybody's, service on this, and everybody kind of came together, which was nice. To Mr. Finneran's comment, nice job on the draft also.
Yeah,
There
thanks
was
to
a lot in
Noreen.
it,
She
so,
did a great job on the draft, yeah.
No, it's a good outcome
Okay.
from my perspective.
I think I speak for the entire board when I say that when applicants can get neighbors on board, it makes giving relief much, much easier. So we thank you for the
Okay,
efforts.
thank you.
With that in mind, how would the board like to proceed on this agenda item?
Make a motion to approve the draft?
Motion to approve, is there a second? Second by Mr. Finneran. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? That is a vote. Thank you very much. Next up is item number 3, board discussion regarding a date for a Saturday workshop.
I think we should pick a day.
I don't disagree.
I mentioned to Noreen this afternoon, I would prefer, if possible, that if we could wait until 20 days after, what was it, the 5th, our last meeting? Was it the 5th of January, till that decision is posted? Because there's things I'd like to discuss with the board about that, if that's possible. Otherwise, we'd have to do it at another point in time.
So just a point of reference, the past history of the board on a Saturday meeting has not been to discuss any specific addresses. So we can generally discuss policies or issues that have arisen without specific addresses, because there has been some concern expressed that if a specific address is raised, that people, particularly homeowners, don't have an opportunity to participate or have notice or whatever else.
Well,
So-
I know we're not free to speak until 20 days afterwards. The address doesn't have to come up, it's just, there's a few things that I'd like to clear up, to be honest with you.
So you're just concerned about general issues?
The general
That's-
issues in
So
the,
Perfectly fair,
We
yeah.
can certainly do that.
yeah.
We're just suggested to avoid any specific addresses.
So how far out does the board want to go? Do people have, I'm certainly not going to be here this coming weekend, but
What
perhaps a
about the
month out?
11th? What about the 11th?
4th or the 11th of February?
I'm available those weekends. Mark, Frank?
Pretty free, I think the 11th would be fine if you want to do it. We'll bring the coffee.
We get time and a half.
We are
Zero.
meeting, we are meeting.
We'll give you double
We are
time.
meeting on the 2nd, so given that that's going to be a hectic week, maybe the 11th if it works for
Yeah.
people.
I would suggest the 11th, if that's good with the board.
Great.
Fine.
And obviously, subject to weather, where last year we had a date selected and it snowed to beat the band.
Do we want to invite anyone else to join us? Anyone, no?
We offered, what, the select board last?
Usually, perhaps our liaison to the select board. Could we think of any issues that require, or we would like anyone else to join us?
I think all the issues are amongst ourselves, so to speak.
Very good. And I
And it
guess,
doesn't preclude having another one further on down if
Right.
something does arrive, like,
what time, and do we want to do this traditionally? People have brought potluck, so to speak, brunch almost.
Sure.
11?
Same format.
11 at 11?
Like, usually do like 9 to 11 type of thing.
Okay.
Can we deputize Ashley to be responsible, not to dump work on you, for keeping, who's going to be bringing what in terms of juice, coffee, and donuts?
Yeah, I'll send something out.
Excellent.
We have
So the
more food than
11th?
participants.
Any requests, Richard?
The 11th at 9.
Okay. All right, so the 11th, 9 to 11,
And that's here.
here in Town Hall.
And
Glad
we'll,
we're doing that.
Maureen, will you circulate a draft agenda?
Yes, please.
Yes, and so also for the board, if there's anything specific that you want to discuss other than any particular address, please feel free to send that to me, and I will add that to our list of things that you want to discuss.
Okay.
Next up is board updates. I will start. I will be out of the country for the next 7 days, so our vice chairman is now going to be in charge of any zoning emergencies, questions, or if anything needs
Well, there'd be a
input from the chair.
signature for a
It will
decision
now be the
available.
vice chair's responsibility and problem. I'll be thinking of you all,
For 5 seconds on the plane.
Pre-flight.
Oceanside and Central America. Any other updates?
What's that?
Let me know if there's anything that you need.
If there's any decisions or anything
We'll
needs to be
have
signed?
We
tonight's
shall have
vote
the decision, yeah, to
available for
sign.
signature, so if that works for you or Suzanne.
Board discussion. Anything we need to discuss?
We'll do it on the 11th.
Absolutely. Future agenda items.
Take it up on the 11th, too.
More meetings.
All right. Seeing that we have no other business, our next meeting will be held on February the 2nd, 2023, 6:30 PM here in the Selectmen's Meeting Room. Good night, all.
Thank you.